Guys, it's Maymay, and I am so excited to announce that I am designing for ReneaBouquets this month. I'll be doing at least 2, probably more design projects for her, and today I'm going to be using a butterfly from this set. Let me open them up so you can see them better. Look how beautiful. The lights may be washing them out, but oh my goodness, they're so pretty. These have the glitter glass on them, and they're pink with script. I can't remember the name of them. So this is the original sets that come with the small, medium, and large, but you can also get her sets called the Tiny Treasures that come with 5 in this size. Today we're going to work with this guy right up here. I'm really excited about this. Now let me tell you, I went to Pinterest and I got some inspiration for this one. I did not come up with this on my own, but I thought, you know, I want to try to use her butterflies in a whole different way, so I'm going to try this. We're going to make a card and we're going to turn this butterfly into an angel. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is work from the bottom up, and my card base is going to be black. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/4. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I'm just cutting it in half long ways because I want this to be a top fold card. So I have this cut, and now let's score our card. And I will score this one in half at 5 1/2. And that gets me my fold for my card base. Now, because I'm working from the bottom up, I'm going to cut the card mat, or the mat for the card, out of this paper. Now, this is a Christmas paper that I found, and I want to use this because I want you to be able to see how it works when you're using, you know, Christmassy papers along with the butterflies. But this card really won't be specifically Christmas, so you'll be able to use it for whatever you want to. But angels work for Christmas time. All right, so I cut this down to 4 inches. And now I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4, and that will get me what I need for the base of my, or for the first mat on my card. Let me show you what I mean. So I have my black card base, and then I have this mat. Gives me a pretty good size around it. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. Now then, I'm going to start working on the angel. I'm going to be using some punches and kind of doing some punch art. Now remember, you can get creative in your craft room and use whatever you've got. The first punch I'm going to use is this big square one. This is a 2-inch scallop square punch. And I'm going to punch this out of here, like so, out of this glitter paper. And now we're going to turn this into a dress. Now here's the thing. I want to go to the center and count up 3 scallops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, from here I want to cut this to the center of that top scallop, and I'm just going to do this by eye. So I'm going to the indent of that 4th or 3rd scallop from the center, and then I'm going to cut to the center of this scallop. Okay, so I've given myself an angle cut. Now what I'm going to do is take this piece and flip it over to this side and match it up. By doing that, it tells me exactly what I need to cut here to make sure that I'm the same on both sides. Okay, so we've just created the dress that she'll be wearing. Isn't that cute? This glitter paper has a little pink in it. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but there's some pink to go with the butterfly that we'll be using. I'm going to remove this from the paper. Now, this butterfly is a double layer butterfly. I hope you don't freak out, Renee. But I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to make 2 butterflies out of it so I can use this one on another project, but I'm going to use the back wings. And in order to do that, I'm just going to release the foam tape from the centers very carefully, like that. So that gets me just the back set of wings. And now I still have this perfectly good, I moved that a little bit when I took it apart, but I still have this perfectly good butterfly that I can use for another project. Okay, so I'll put this aside, and I have these. I'm excited about this. Now I'm not putting anything together yet, I'm just getting my pieces together. So I have dress, this is wings, card, and now let's do the face for the angel. I have a 1-inch circle punch and some cream colored cardstock, and I'm just going to cut a 1-inch circle for her face. For the halo, I'm going to use 2 punches. I'm going to use a 1-inch and a 1 1/4 inch. I'm going to start with the 1-inch. I'm just going to come up on this paper and punch a 1-inch circle. I'm going to trim some more off of this edge, because what I want to happen, I'm going to do it from this edge, is I'm going to cut this circle off center. I want the circle to be skinny on one end and and wide on the other, because I want my halo to have some dimension to it. So I'm just going to get that in there like that, and I'll show you what I mean. I just kind of set it so that one portion of the halo would be wider and the rest would be skinnier. So you're just offsetting that center circle to get that. So now we have our halo, and we're about ready to assemble. Okay, this one's pretty simple, huh? Here is some ink. Let's do some distress inking. This glitter paper may not show it as well, but I'm still going to do it because I want it to be consistent. Just a little around there. Let's do the face a bit. Just for edging. I'm not going to ink her butterfly because it already has the inking. Do you see that? But I am going to ink this paper. And I just got a scrap piece because I want to ink this pretty heavy. So I'm going to come to the side and rub this on. Because I want this piece to be really dark on the edges. I want to concentrate on those. When you do this, when you put this down onto your piece, you don't want to lay your ink blender straight down. You want to do it at an angle so that it comes into the paper at an angle. It's hard for me to show you that, but I'm actually lifting up one end and pressing down on the other. If you come straight down on it, you're just going to get the whole piece of ink, the whole shape of this, and you don't want that. You want it to kind of work its way in darker to lighter. That looks good, very vintage. And the black, of course, we don't have to do anything to. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and mount this to my card base. Just going to use my ATG for that. Like so. And I'm being very simple out here because I want the angel to really stand out. Now what I'm going to do is build my angel. And the first thing I want to do is take my bone folder. And for this skirt, I want it to have a little bend in it. So I want it to not be quite so flat. So I'm just going to kind of roll my bone folder to the middle here. From the middle to the outside. And that'll give me kind of a bend in the dress. Kind of make it lift up off the page a bit. Make it seem a little more actual dress-like. Okay, let me get some foam adhesive. Put the foam tape on the point of your dress and then bring your dress to where the edge of those wings can still show around the dress. I think it looks more like an angel when you can see the actual wings there. And you know, a lot of times angel wings sit up high. You know, for the head, before you mount it to the angel, what you want to do is go ahead and decide where you want your halo to be. And I'm going to take the halo and put it, I'm going to match my circles up at the bottom with just a little bit of Tombow. So I'm going to run some Tombow along the skinniest part, like so. Then I'm just going to take the head and put it right to the edge of that circle. Give that a second to dry because I put that on kind of heavy. Now to mount this, I want to put another foam square here at the top. And that's where her little face will go, her little head. So I'll just stick that down just like that. So there's our angel. What do you think? Not bad, huh? If you want to, you can do a face if you have little face stamps or whatever, but I really don't think you have to. In the pictures on Pinterest I saw, they just kind of did this to kind of give the feel of the angel, so I really think it's fine. Okay, so I had a second thought. I decided to take that face again and try something else. I'm going to punch out a circle. We had it plain with nothing on it, and now I'm going to show you another option, which I think turns out really cute. So here's our little face, and I have this little superhero girl from this stamp set from TPC Studios, which is called Superhero. I'm going to use her face and see. I think this works really well. I practiced so I could show you, because I just wasn't happy with that plain face. So here we go. So ink it up, and I'm using distress ink for a reason. I want it to kind of match everything else, and I'm just going to ink the face portion and then come in here and lay it on top of our little circle and just see what we get. See, right now it kind of looks like a boy, but I promise when we get done and put it on, it won't. Alright, so I'm going to ink the edges of it, just like we did earlier. Okay, and when you see the finished product, I'll have this on it instead of the plain face. I think this one looks much better. Give me your opinion. What I'm going to do now is flip it over and put the foam tape on the back to match this one piece that's still on the butterfly. So I'm going to put some on the corners of the wings, at the edge of the dress, here in the center. Now let's peel these off and mount it to our card, just centering it. Because we're working in the abstract, like her face is not really in and she's just kind of the abstract image of an angel, I have this piece of paper that has musical notes on it. What I'm going to do is just a little rectangle. I just cut it wide enough for her, and we're going to try to make that look like a little book, like she's singing from a book. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. And then I'm just going to fold it in half and ink that bend so you'll really be able to see that it's a little book. See there? In this area. But I think it's a little big, so we're going to trim it just a little bit. I'm going to trim this part from the bottom. I don't want to cut into the staff because I still want you to be able to see where it starts and stops. Trim this down again. Then I'm going to trim these edges. I think this will look better if it's a little bit smaller. Now let's re-ink those edges. And this is how you do it, just trial and error. Okay. Yep, much better. And now we're just going to mount this guy. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put foam tape here, but I'm going to actually adhere this down flat so I'll have some dimension coming off of the little book. So I ran some Tombow here, but you know what? I'm going to make this 2 thicknesses of foam tape so that it'll stick out better. So I'm just laying 2 pieces of foam tape on top of each other, just like that. And then I'll put the foam tape down because it'll angle it up, and then those little, the Tombow will touch underneath there. And that gives us the look of a little songbook. So now our little angel is holding a little songbook, and her wings are the ReneaBouquets butterfly, and there she is. I think that's cute. Thank you, Pinterest, right? If you're ever looking for something, always go to Pinterest. That's what I do. But theirs was very similar. Of course, they didn't have these beautiful butterflies to work with like I do from Renee, but this is an easy way to do a little Christmas card. Now remember, if you're going to send this, you'll want to put something in here, mat it with something lighter, so you can put a sentiment or write on it. But there you have a little Christmas card. And it doesn't have to be a Christmas card. That's the cool thing. It's not necessarily Christmas. It's just an angel who's singing, so you could use it for any time of year. Alright guys, so as I said, I changed the face. I actually added a face this time. And I showed you how to do that. I just thought it was too plain. So I went ahead and added the face, and I think in pictures this will be much cuter. And if you liked it plain, go with that. But if not, if you have a way to do a little face somewhere in your craft room, maybe you have some little face stamps or something you can make work, just like the one I did. That's a huge stamp, but I still only used that portion of it. Alright, so here's our finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Now today is Wednesday. It is the week before my son's wedding, so I will not have a video on Friday. I'm going to be focusing on the wedding for the next couple of days, so please forgive me. I'm taking a day off, so you won't see me on Friday, but you will see me again with you on Monday. I know you guys will understand. It's time to be mommy and do wedding stuff, so I love you guys. I really appreciate all your support, and I will see you guys on Monday, and we will continue with probably more Christmas stuff. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.